In our last talk, we were studying about the 4 parts of preference, and we have finished the first part. In our talk of part 1, we had explained that sentient beings committing akusala deeds, that is, unwholesome activities, could land in the 4 lower realms of woeful states, Tiricana, animal world, Beta, ghost world, Asuraka Nikaya, demon world, and hell, Niraya. Today, I would like to elucidate the second part of preference, which leads sentient beings who perform kusala deeds or wholesome activities such as dana or generosity and sila or morality to existences of human beings or heavenly beings. All worldlings are traveling towards the 4 paths of preference. They are 1. The path leading to the apaya world or 4 lower realms of woeful states. 2. The path that lead to the human world and the deva world. And 3. The path leading to the Brahma world. And 4 is the path leading to realization of Nibbana. Worldly beings are traveling in these 4 paths according to their own preferences. Those who indulge in unwholesome activities can be said to be traveling the path that leads to the 4 lower realms of woeful states. Those who conduct themselves in wholesome activities can be said to be traveling the path that leads to the human world or celestial world. Those who have achieved the human existences can be regarded as an example, motor cars which have come to a crossroad traffic point controlled by electric lights. One can turn to the east, to the west, or one can turn and drive to the south or to the north. It is one's own choice. According to this simile of driving a car along the path of one's own preference, worldly beings who indulge in unwholesome activities choose to drive towards the direction of the 4 apaya worlds. There are those who conduct themselves in wholesome activities and choose to drive towards the direction of human or celestial worlds. So also, there are those who practice samatha bhavana and choose to drive towards the Brahma Loka, that is more noble heavenly world. Those who practice vipassana bhavana or insight meditation choose to drive towards the path of Nibbana, the end of all suffering. The latter 3 paths are the paths of good, better, and best choices, only to be achieved by those who conduct themselves in good and meritorious wholesome activities called kusala deeds. Pali word kusala is anavijja sukha vipaka lakkhana in Pali. It is innocent and give good result and effects. For example, when one decides to accomplish dana or generosity, one has to reject attachment to one's own property. This is in a way rejecting greed. One has to inspire metta or loving kindness towards the recipient. After the rejection of attachment on one's own property, one is free from one's akusala deed of greed and property. By radiating loving kindness on the recipient, one is free from anger, since loving kindness has replaced the anger. When one believes that dana or generosity will result in meritorious effects, one is free from moha or delusion, one of the 3 unwholesome roots. When one is free from lobha, dosa, and moha, greed, anger, and delusions, one becomes innocent and resultant advantages are also accrued. The general public has high esteem for and adore the donor. The noble persons and learned elders are happy to visit the donors, and by such a visit one can benefit because such noble persons and learned elders, they usually give lectures on Dharma and words of advice. The donor is courageous and harmonious in social gatherings, and the public has a high esteem for the donor's good deeds. In addition to these advantages in this present life, the donor can be sure to land in the world of human or celestial beings in the next existences. Therefore, giving dana or generosity is defined as a wholesome activity. Next, sila is also regarded as a good deed. Persons observing sila or moral precepts will refrain from killing. If one commits killing with the intention of enjoying the meat, it is a good greed-connected akusalati. If killing is committed with ill will, it is an anger-connected akusalati. When one refrains from killing, the akusala deeds or unwholesome actions of greed and anger are extinguished. When one realizes that committing unwholesome deeds will result in bad effects, one will eliminate moha or delusion. Therefore, a person by observing sila or morality can be free from lobha or greed, dosa or anger, and moha or delusion. Not only one is he free from these unwholesome karmical volitions and the consciousness and mental concomitants associated therewith, he can gain advantages, merits such as good memory and health, and rich conditions during the present existence. A person who is observing morality or sila earns a good reputation among the populace. One is also respected by society, and one has the courage and boldness to face any kind of audience under any circumstances. The other advantage to observers of morality or sila is gaining peaceful and clear conscious mental states at the time of their death. Such persons will also land in good and better existences in the cycle of samsaric rebirths. That is why Lord Buddha defined morality or sila as an innocent, merit-earning and noble, wholesome deed will result in good effects and future samsaric existences. In the Devadutta Sutta, Lord Buddha elucidated, O sons and daughters, in my vision, I can clearly see with my divine eye the fates of all sentient beings as a person with good eyes can see the activities of inhabitants of the two adjacent houses. I can clearly see those who committed physical and moral acts, oral and moral speech, and mental and moral thoughts, or those who harmed Ariyapogla or noble persons. When they die, they land themselves in the lower world of woeful states, which we call Apaya world. Those who abstain from such unwholesome actions as killing, stealing, and observe morality or sila, giving dana or generosity, etc., and gave due respect to the noble persons and had right view, and persons who propagated the right view to others, When they died, they landed in better Sukati, meaning happy course of existence. Buddha saw the fates of all these good people achieving good existences by dint of his divine eye, Deva Jakku. Those who engage in wholesome actions in the previous existences became rich and wealthy men in the present life. The kings, the emperors and feudal lords, or the rich and wealthy men are also persons who have engaged in wholesome deeds in their previous lives. Those who attain celestial world due to their wholesome actions landed in Davadensa and Chatumharajika Deva, two of the 6 classes of heavenly beings of the sensuous sphere. On analysis, it is found that these good achievements were resultant effects of previous wholesome actions. Here, we would like to relate an episode during Buddha's lifetime as an example. At one time, our Lord Buddha was staying in the Nijorarama monastery in Kapilavatthu province, his native state. Venerable Anuruddha, the most renowned Arhat, who achieved Deva Jakku, and he is a cousin of our Lord Buddha, came to pay respect to Lord Buddha. Since Venerable Anuruddha Mahathera was a native of Kapilavatthu, he had plenty of relatives and pupils. After many of the relatives had come back, Venerable Anuruddha inquired of his uncles why his younger sister, Rohini, was not present in the assembly. When Venerable Anuruddha came to know that his sister was ashamed of her disease that inflicted her, he sent for her. When Rohini came to see her brother, she was covered with a cloth over her body. When her brother asked the reason of her absence, she replied, "Dear brother, I am afflicted with leprosy. My skin and my face are disfigured, and I am ashamed of putting in an appearance with the crowd." Venerable Anuruddha then said that such a calamity had befallen her due to unwholesome deeds of her previous life. To get relief from such a calamity, you should perform generosity or dana and other wholesome deeds, advised Venerable Anuruddha. Venerable Anuruddha requested the help of his uncles and directed her to sell her precious jewelry she received as a princess and to build a monastery and a dining hall. He also instructed her to give personal manual labor in clearing the site, cleaning of the site by sweeping, etc. When the upper story was completed, she was asked to sweep the floor daily. She was also advised to practice dana or generosity, sila or morality, bhavana or meditation, and organize the marriage sharing libation ceremony after the completion of the monastery. Sister Rohini did what her brother told her by giving her jewelries to the uncle who sold it and started organizing the building of the monastery and the dining hall. She also practiced in the cleaning, clearing, sweeping of the sites and building of the monastery by giving personal manual labor. From that time onwards, her leprosy subsided. When the time came for the marriage sharing and libation ceremony, Venerable Anuruddha invited Lord Buddha and his fellow disciples on Rohini's behalf for lunch dana. Rohini did not come to the ceremony and Lord Buddha had to send for her. She came and stated leprosy as an excuse for her absence. Then Lord Buddha explained to her that was her own fault and recounted events of the previous existence. Buddha said, ages ago you were the queen of a king and a state. There was a pretty maid of honor whom the king favored, and out of sheer jealousy you managed to apply harmful and itchy powder on the woman's bed and clothing. Then she was disfigured by that affliction. Due to that unwholesome deed, you are suffering leprosy now. Therefore, you must perform wholesome deeds now to get relief. After that, Lord Buddha preached her the libation and marriage sharing discourse for her offering of these monastic buildings and lunch. He also advised her to practice meditation there and then. After the completion of the libation ceremony, Rohini did as she was told by Lord Buddha. She cleaned and swept the monastery. She filled the pots with drinking water for the monks. She observed sila or morality, and she also practiced vipassana bhavana or insight meditation. She achieved Sodapati Mega Pala, path and fruition knowledge, and she shed all her akusala resultant effect of her previous existence. Her leprosy was also cured, and she led a normal life. At the time of her natural death, she landed in the Deva world. And becoming a celestial being in Deva world is called spontaneous or instant rebirth, Opapatika. They suddenly appear full-grown devas. So Rohini became the queen of the devas. Since Rohini was very beautiful, the king Saka loved her dearly. Rohini became very powerful and lived for a long time, enjoying the joyful bliss of the celestial beings. These are the resultant effects of dana or generosity and sila or morality. Therefore, according to the words of our Lord Buddha, those who observe wholesome deeds of dana or generosity and sila or moral precepts could be regarded as traveling towards a good path that lead to the existences of human or celestial beings. May all our meditators here also be able to travel the best path by practicing wholesome deeds of dana or generosity and sila or morality during the